Hello everyone, this is Coach Kemp, Executive Director of Love Akron, coming to you once again with another Coach's Moment. The Coach's Point for this month, for February 2021, is this. For all you out there who are leaders, and guess what? All of you are, if you're watching this, you are a leader, whether you're leading an organization or whether you're just leading in your home. And here's the thing about being a leader. We have to get comfortable in the crucible. Whoa, what are you talking about, Coach Kemp? Let me say it again. We have to get comfortable as leaders in the crucible, because it's in the crucible that our leadership is refined and it takes shape and it takes form. In the crucible is where the heat is at. It's where the criticism is. It's where the naysayers are. It's where all those who are following your leadership are resistant to the change that you're trying to bring. And guess what? You have to get comfortable in it as a leader. Why? Because it's never going to leave. As long as you are leading, you have to be comfortable in that crucible. There's going to be doubters. There's going to be people that say, why are we changing? Why are we shifting? Why are these things happening when everything was fine the way it was? Here's the thing that you have to do as a leader, is you have to have tempered resilience. Shout out to author Todd Bolsinger, who wrote the book called Tempered Resilience. And he said, as leaders, if we can't get comfortable in the crucible, we're either going to have a failure of nerve or a failure of heart. Whoa, you don't want either one of those. If you have a failure of nerve, what happens is this. Those that you are leading, your followers, they will become resistant to you. And as they become resistant to you, what happens sometimes to that leader is you will go back to the status quo. You will go back to people pleasing. And if we have a failure of heart, it's even worse. We want to even leave our calling. That means we want to give up. We want to throw in the white towel and say, this is no longer for me. I'm going somewhere else and going to do something else. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Again, you know me, since we are in the crucible, I got to be hot with you, right? I got to be humble, open, and transparent. Man, I was at that point at one time in my leadership here at Love Akron, to where, man, I was beginning to have a failure of heart. I was beginning to have a failure of nerve, and I just wanted to go back to the status quo. But you know what? I stayed in it. I stayed in that crucible, because here's what can happen. When steel is in that crucible and it's being refined, it said it gets up to about 700 degrees. But even at 700 degrees, it's not ready to be shaped and molded into the type of steel that is to be. And so when you take something out early, or when we try to exit the crucible early, man, we're not refined. And our leadership has not taken the shape that it needs to be just yet. So I want to encourage you to stay in it. Let that thing get up to 2,000 degrees. Let it get up to 3,000 or 10,000 degrees. Don't be afraid and don't be dismayed. So even in the crucible, he's there with me. And guess what he's doing? He's refining my leadership, and he's growing me up in leadership. Hey, thank you so much for listening. And know that, hey, if you are alone, know that you're never alone, because we're here with you and we're here for you. This is your Coach's Moment for February 2021. And remember, let's continue to love Akron.